raw movement of her. So, of our 360-degree array of cameras around her are seeing each one of these individual markers and capturing that movement. She's also wearing our fancy helmet. It's 100% for safety. No, it's not. We have that little head cam. So that little video camera, as you can see actually up here at the moment, we've got Lyndall moving around. So she's driving this mannequin character at the moment with those markers. Each group of markers will move a segment of the human character. Could be the upper arm, the lower arm, etc., etc. And I'll leave that bit there. But our head cam is for tracking her facial features.
Okay, I'm just going to pause you for a sec there, Pete, because Lyndall is in fact more than just a mannequin driving something on a digital world. Lyndall is, of course, a human being with a background who trained as an actor in London at the Arts Education School of Acting, graduating in 2006. While working as an actor in the UK, she specialized in dramatic combat and movement, which makes her particularly well-suited for what she's doing today, and worked as a specialist fight performer. In 2013, she formed the company Captivate Action, which was the first company in the UK to specialize in acting and training for performance capture. In 2015, Lyndall started teaching stage combat at the Victorian College of the Arts. And in 2016, she returned home to Australia, where she delivers ongoing training in motion capture and dramatic combat, is a member of the Society of Australian Fight Directors, which is so cool, and has been working as a fight director with theatre companies such as the Melbourne Theatre Company and the Melbourne Opera. So you are in the presence of, another true expert in the field whose bio tells us we shouldn't mess with her in any capacity. So please join me in welcoming Lyndall.
Thank you.
Okay, Pete, thank you. We have a sense now of what motion capture does. Can we get a little bit more specific? Can you tell me what markers are?
So, markers. So, let's try to check out some of these guys. So, they're not as advanced as we think right now, these little guys. So these are reflective tape markers around little foam balls. That means we can get Lyndall to do whatever she wants. She can roll on the ground. She can, don't roll on the ground. She can roll on the ground. She can do whatever she likes. Because we're using these cameras in a full 360-degree sweep all the way around, which are going really, really fast at 180 frames a second, we can track that movement all the way around and create it in 3 dimensions like you see up there. The next addition that we did to that system was the facial capture as well. So this little camera there is a high-definition camera, which, as old talent likes, her face to be as large on every screen possible. So as you can see, these little tracking dots are tracking in real time her facial expressions and movements, from her lips moving around to her nose to her eye darts, so she looks left and right. You can see we're capturing all that movement. And it's that sort of stuff that's really giving life to our characters. And if she does her eyebrows up, she's really sad because we're making her wear a suit. Or she's angry because she's a fight director. No. But we can see all that emotion coming across.
Okay, Pete, what is the significance of Lyndall's facial movements in particular?
Right now, so I think if let's go through the deal of all of it. So if you hop into a T-pose, and you'll see that Lyndall also has a neutral face at the moment, we do these movements to be able to it teaches the system really what she's doing. So she's going through a range of movement now. So the static face was what we now know Lyndall's face as, and the body movements that she's doing is called our range of motion. Once again, it's about teaching the system who she is. Our little markers here, well, it looks like they always remain the same distance from each other. As she moves around, they'll stretch a little bit, and our system starts to learn that. So as she continues on through her little acrobatic routine, the system just continues to learn who Lyndall is.
Great. Thank you, Pete. Now, why would you use motion capture instead of normal animation?
It's the big question. I think, so personally, we go down the motion capture route for realism and accuracy. We capture at incredibly high frequency of data, which gives us a lot of the high frequency noise, but also the subtlety that sometimes people can miss, especially in the facial animation and the body stuff as well. But then it also introduces a new realm of instant feedback. So with a traditional animation workflow, sometimes it can take quite a while to really see what you're getting to, or you can start with, blocking it out and slowly growing your animation. But I think for us, it relates it more to a live action way of working, where you can see what your performer's doing, you can see what your story is going to look like, even if it is currently just as Lyndall performing in front of us. So it was more of a quicker way to start telling out your story, to start blocking out your story.
And Pete, what does motion capture offer in terms of the environment, perhaps that traditional animation doesn't? Sort of in a 360.
Yeah, okay. So a lot of animation as well. If you start to animate towards camera a lot of the time, and you'll start to, develop your animations in that sense. I guess from a motion capture point of view, it's also a prototyping tool as well. We can do things really, really quickly in a full 360 environment, which allows us to experiment with our camera placement